Silverstein, they dropped their new album Pink Moon. It's the second half of their double record that they were putting out over the course of this year, celebrating 25 years. The first half was Anti-Bloom. The second half is obviously Pink Moon. It just came out. And we had Shane Told from Silverstein on the podcast to chat about the double record and 25 years and all of that. And it was an honor to chat with him. It's been an act that, you know, if you've been watching the podcast, you know how much I love Silverstein. So getting to have Shane on the podcast, and like he said before we started shooting, the Shane energy in the Zoom meeting was high.
It was too much. It was too much.
There was a lot. I don't know. It's not every day we have two Shanes in the Zoom, so it was there was a lot of energy there. But I was
scared.
Yeah. It was an honor to chat with him and to dive into everything going on with the band and the 25 years and the double record. This album, the second half, this record is phenomenal. You know, I really dug Anti-Bloom, but it felt a little bit lighter in certain areas. Like I was kind of like grasping for straws at the heavier moments, which Silverstein across the board has always, you know, they're a post-hardcore band, so they've got the heavy moments, but there's also plenty of upbeat melodic styles and things like that throughout the discography, and those are some of my favorite moments of the band as well. But I notoriously, just personally, prefer when bands are on the heavier side. So Anti-Bloom, I liked a handful of songs off of it. I mean, a song like I Will Destroy This is absolutely bonkers off that record. But you know, I was kind of left with like, all right, where's like the really heavy stuff? Found it. It's this record. There's not much here in terms of like super slow, you know, laid back, poppier elements, melodic elements. This is just four to the floor, gas, pedal to the metal, gas, go. I Love You, But I Have to Let You Go is that like slow song, which I feel like perfectly picks up where Anti-Bloom left off. Anti-Bloom left off on a slower note. This record is picking up on a slower note that builds into Negative Space, which is a banger. But Drain the Blood is up there as one of my favorite Silverstein songs. I think that song is bouncy as hell. The chorus on that is catchy as shit. Rory from Dayseeker is featured on the song. He adds a ton to the song, and it's up, like I said, up there as one of my favorites. The Fatalist and Widowmaker are both absolute fucking bangers, exactly what I'm looking for from the band. Autopilot is like that, you know, we pull it back. It's not slow, but a little bit more melodic, you know, with Cassidy Pope on it. She's a great feature pull for that song. Death Hold, you know, make sure that you remember what this band sounds like, gets one last in there. And then Dying Game is a very nice way to kind of finish things off. You know, I feel like this record is sequenced very nicely, this second portion here, with, you know, starting off on the slower side, building up to this big kind of crescendo, slowing it down for a second with Autopilot, coming in guns blazing one more time with Death Hold, and then, you know, descending you down to the record being ultimately 100% done with Dying Game. I really think this record's solid. It's my preferred half of the double record, although I think both sides are really solid, and it's another incredible Silverstein entry. And you know, there's a reason why this band's been doing it for 25 years. There's not much in the discography that's like, damn, this isn't good, and this is just another entry into what is mostly a flawless discography. So big shout out to the band, and they're crushing it. 25 years in, they're still crushing it.
Damn straight. So I listened to this record twice because it was when, after you had told me, you were like, man, I finally found the heavy part of Silverstein again, because I was like, I don't remember it being like that heavy on my first listen. So I gave it another spin, and I still don't think, I mean, maybe in Silverstein's case, it is like, heavier.
It's not like, oh my god, like
look, fucking Rager, you know? It's like, there's their guitars for sure, you know? But that's not a bad thing. I think that the record sounds incredible. I think it flows very well. I do like the energy of it. It just isn't like it's still in my head. We've reviewed them for like the past years, right? Forever.
2020 and onwards.
It's crazy. But I still think that they are like a heavy band. In my head, they're still like metalcore, even though they haven't done that in for a long
Ever.
time. Ever? No, it's I mean, their live performance felt so much heavier than what they actually sound like in the studio. So in my head it's like, yeah, they're kind of more towards that live, but then like in the studio it sounds so much like lighter, I guess. It's really weird. I do enjoy this record. I think it's great. Honestly, I do prefer Pink Moon over Anti Bloom. I think this is my favorite side or, part two of the record. Um, Drain the Blood with the Dayseeker feature. I fucking love Rory. I think Dayseeker is an incredible band, and the combination of the two is insane, and it's kind of like a match made in heaven. But honestly, it's kind of like an obnoxious song. It's like I think it's just like
It's
the
been
the, the
everywhere.
chorus. It's like I can't, but not even that. It's like I can't. I haven't even like stumbled upon it, in real life. I haven't even, except for like the promo that I got when it was like announced, and then when it first came out as a single. But then it was just I just listened to it again, and I've only heard it a couple times because I get like I've only heard it a couple times, but it's like the chorus, or maybe it's the bridge, just the part where they're saying like drain the blood from the arm of the artist, like fucking it's just I don't know why. It just takes me off. Couldn't tell you why. I don't know. I think that there is a good part in the song that I really like where it does get like there are some guitar licks in there that do remind me of kind of like swancore, where it just sounds kind of like bouncy and upbeat for a second, and then it does go back into kind of the heavier side of it, which I thought was really cool. I did like those two song dynamics kind of bouncing around and playing in that one track. I think that's fucking awesome. My favorite track is definitely Autopilot featuring Cassidy Pope. I really like that dynamic. I think it's obviously not a heavier song on the record, which is what I was looking for. But I really liked it. When it came out as a single, I was immediately a fan. I like this track a lot. I think the record is great. Um, Shout out Silverstein.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I talk about heavy in terms of Silverstein, it's not so much like you're gonna be headbanging and going crazy. And yes, sure, their live performance is a little bit on the heavier side, but for me, it's more so in like the energy and the way Shane delivers things, and when the guitars are really riffing, not to like be so broad about it, but when the guitars are really driving and the instrumentals are really at the forefront, and Shane's got all this energy behind him, and he's maybe screaming, not so much, or like yelling, not so much screaming, is
He's
when
raising his voice.
is when Silverstein to me is heavy, quote unquote. Like they're not a band that I'm like I'm gonna get the shit beat out of me too, and I'm gonna
get a
be
headache because we're headbanging so hard.
Like they got a little bit more groove than that, but that's what I mean when heavy. And the second half of this record has some more moments like that versus the first half. And you can even like see that in the cover art. Not to start analyzing the cover arts, but this one is darker. The first half was white and lighter. But they're going to be out celebrating 25 years, continuing with even more tour dates, and finishing off with a big show in Brooklyn to kind of cap off 25 years of the band, and the celebration that they've been on all year long. So peep the dates. Gloria and I both went to the tour. It's a stellar performance. So if it's coming near you, highly recommend. They're an incredible live band, one of my faves.
Damn straight.